talked about working on today was the topic of fear versus faith. And you even asked me, is it versus faith, fear versus faith? And I don't even, maybe versus is not the right word because it's not adversarial. But what I understand is that the mind can only hold one thought at a time. It either is in a fear thought or in a faith thought. Everything boils down to that. And so it's a choice we have to make. And I studied the New Thought religions quite a bit over the years. Everything from Christian Science, Unity, religious science, New Thought movement. This is kind of come up in the 1800s, and the New Thought movement teaches that you can control your thoughts, and that what you believe is kind of what you manifest. So they say that you can only have one thought at a time. So if you have a God thought, a positive thought, a faith thought, nothing negative can really happen to you. It's very amazing how you can change your life and change your world by just monitoring how you think and how you speak. And it's been kind of a lifelong journey for me ever since I've learned to do that. And I do slip, but...
Hi, this is Kym McBride and Linda Schiller-Hanna. We're on News Talk 1480 WHBC. And this is Mainstream Intuition.
Welcome back. And thanks for joining us today. Today's topic is fear versus faith. We've been giving a little background of how we got started, because literally I started in fear. There was a lot of trauma in my childhood, a lot of abuse, and even hunger. You know, I just read the other day that 1 in 8 Americans is hungry at some time in their life. I mean, this is a pretty shocking statistic. So we all need to be more mindful of other people.
Well, I'm hungry a lot more than that. You mean no one's ever hungry? You mean to the point of so hungry that they can't get enough food? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, they can't get food. Yeah, that they don't have the economic wherewithal to provide their food at some time in their life. So I kind of grew up with some of that. And so I grew up kind of like, where's the food? Who's throwing the knife? How do I hide under the bed or whatever? I mean, it really was kind of off the charts at times. And so the psychologists call it hypervigilance. I have hypervigilance or post-traumatic stress disorder. And I've had more therapy than anybody you know, Kim. Or anybody out there knows, you know. I'm a classic case of therapy works, because I am a really happy person now, believe it or else. Believe it or else. Anyway, so we were talking about this fear of faith thing, and I want to tell you one of the best stories I've ever encountered in my career on faith. I was teaching a class up in Canada. It was in Windsor, and a Canadian woman was a member, several, actually many were, but she had a talent for being what they call a trance channeler, where she could actually bring through somebody, and it's almost like Kevin Ryerson does it. There's a few, Ramtha, there's a few, some of the people out there listening know what I'm talking about, where you actually let an entity into your body. And I teach not to do that. I actually don't think that's safe. I like to be a conscious channel and know what I'm saying and hear and have a final editing evaluation. But this one woman had a gift for this and had already been doing it long before she got in my class. So anyway, I was paired up with her, and we were doing the exercise where we talk to dead people. It's part of the things we actually learn to do in the class. And I'd done it so many times because I'm a teacher, and I'd had opportunity after opportunity to talk to all my relatives. So I thought, you know, I'd like to talk to Moses.
Oh, wow. Go for the big guy.
Yeah. Well, I'd been told in another reading that I had actually been Moses' nanny. And I always figured I wasn't Pharaoh's daughter, but I was the one that changed the diapers, you know, the real nanny. But anyway, I kind of liked that idea. And so I thought, you know, I'm going to ask this girl to bring through Moses and see if I really was his nanny. So she's sitting in front of me, and I said, I'd like to talk to Moses. And I could see this energy just coming out over her, and she was starting to like almost expand a little bit and getting kind of this odd look on her face. And she says, well, should I let him in? And I was like, who am I to say no to Moses? So he came on in, and she started talking kind of a deeper voice and stuff, and he had a great presence, a powerful presence. Anyway, so I asked, was I really your nanny? And he says, yeah, you were. And I thought, well, that's cool. And we just chit-chatted about little things in life. And then I said, I've got a question for you. When you were at the Red Sea, did you really think that would work? And he said, no, but I had to try something. And that has been such a catchphrase for me, because I thought, if even Moses at the Red Sea didn't know if it would part, and when Pharaoh's army was coming down behind him and helping the children cross into the promised land, if even he didn't know, he just had to act with boldness and faith. I mean, he didn't really have much choice, so he just pushes his rod into the soil, and the seas parted.
Wow.
And we saw something on Discovery Channel a couple of years ago, my husband and I. It was really interesting. They did a study on where the Red Sea might have parted, and they figured out that place where he would have been, and they looked underwater, and they looked for the path of where all of the chariots would be, and they found them. They found the wheels on the ground, tipped over on their sides, and they had a center cross and a big loop, and they were right where they would have been. So it was really stunning that still after all these years, and they carbon dated them when they were the right age. It was really fascinating. So I thought, I probably walked right through there if I was his nanny.